Hello and welcome to our Tabata set today. Exercise equipment. You're going to need an exercise mat. You're going to need a Pilates block for side plank, optional. A chair for additional support, again optional. And any additional dumbbells that you'd like to make your squats a little harder. The Tabata set itself is split across 8 rounds of 20 seconds work with 10 seconds rest, split across 2 different exercises, so 4 rounds of each. We have lunges and push-ups, squat, jab, cross and crunches, jumping jacks and dead bugs and goblet squats and side plank. We're going to go through all of those exercises now and get you ready for the main set. To complete the alternating lunge, it's important we start with the feet hip width apart. From here we're going to step out and we're going to come up onto the toes at the back, dropping that back knee down. When we return that foot to step out with the other leg, we want to make sure it remains hip width apart. If it comes out one foot in front of the other, you will not maintain your balance as the knee is unable to pass underneath itself. So as we can see here from sideways on, stepping out, nice position up on the toes, dropping that back knee down, keeping that front knee back behind the toes. It's important you step out far enough to enable you to sink down into the correct position. To complete the push-up on the knees, all we need to do is take the hands shoulder width apart, half on the mat, half off, and then we're going to hinge or pivot at the knee, dropping the hips and the front of the thighs down onto the mat. We want to work to a deep range of movement, bringing that chest right down to the mat, making sure that we're not putting all the pressure through the kneecap by bringing the front of the thigh down onto the mat as we drop down, press, and then exhale as you do, making sure we don't lock those elbows out at the top. Squat, jab, cross, a brilliant cardiovascular full body workout. So we're going to squat down, drive through those heels, and then we're going to throw them out. 1, 2, jab, cross at the top before sinking down into the next move. Keep this going for the time or repetition set based on the workout you're completing. Make sure your heart rate is nice and high by the end of this set. To make this a little bit easier, you can of course do this with a chair behind you as a sit to stand jab cross. To perform the crunches or curl up exercise, lie on your back with a 90-degree bend at the knees. Place the hands on the thighs and then slide up, reaching those fingers to the top of the knees and just beyond. The aim is to lift the shoulders off from the floor but to not bend forward excessively. Maintain a tennis ball width underneath the chin by looking diagonally up as you come up, being careful not to strain the neck by pressing the chin down towards the chest. Classic jumping jacks. We start with the feet together and the hands at the side. We jump the feet out and bring the hands over the head in a nice big arch. We want to time it so the feet come in and the hands slap down to the thighs at the same time. We want a good tempo. This is a full body cardiovascular workout. If this exercise is too much impact on knees or ankles, then please check our modified jumping jack variation of this exercise. To perform the dead bug exercise, lie on your back and then we're going to alternate the arm and leg, extending the arm over the top of the head and the foot out towards the floor. The aim is to keep the foot and the hand off of the floor so we don't make contact, but to reach out as far as you can. You can reduce the range of movement to make this exercise easier, and do take care not to overarch and compensate through the back, and you need to have good control through the pelvis. We're working the core and the lower back very hard and very well with this exercise. To complete the goblet squat, we're going to turn those toes out, take a wide shoulder width position, and then we're going to hinge at the hip and drop down. This is a great variation on the classic squat, opens up the hips and makes it a lot easier to sink into that deeper position. It also enables us to keep those knees back behind the toes, which is really important so that we're not putting pressure through the kneecap, and we can perform this exercise effectively, working the hamstrings, glutes, quadriceps and lower back. Side plank is a challenging yet very effective exercise for the side of the abdominals, the oblique muscles. To do this, we want the elbow to be directly underneath the shoulder, and then we want to lift the hips off the floor whilst keeping the knee in contact with the mat. Now, to make this harder and to go into the full position, we can come up and we can basically be a straight line through the ankle, through the knee, through the hip and to the shoulder. When completing this exercise, it's important that we don't lean the chest forward or roll backwards. It can be useful to have a book or a support or something like a Pilates foam block to be able to support you and hold that position strongly. You can make this harder by taking the arm above the head so you're a straight line through the elbow, through the shoulder and then up to the ceiling. Okay, we are off in 10 seconds for Tabata number 1. If you need to grab yourself a drink, or if you're not ready for your main set, hit the pause button now. We're off in 3 seconds, 2 and 1. So we've got alternating lunges for our first exercise. So keeping those feet hip width apart, stepping in. Now you can use a chair for support and do this as a static lunge, just dropping the back leg. We're going to do that all on one leg if that's what you're doing. If not, we're going to stick with this. Last 10 seconds, nearly there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. 10 seconds rest. Round 2, lunges again. So we've got 4 rounds of lunges before we move on to our second exercise. 8 rounds to go in total. So we're back into it now. Back into our second set of lunges. Now the aim for these Tabata sets is to work as hard as you can during this time. If you want to make these harder, then hold a set of dumbbells in each hand. 5-6 kilos would be particularly tough. Last 10 seconds, nearly there. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. 10 seconds rest. 2 down, 2 to go. So if you're doing your static lunge, make sure you're changing leg. We're off in 3, 2, 1. Round number 3. Stepping in. Now, if you do have space, you can do this as a walking lunge. Very similar to what we're doing here for the alternating lunge. Doesn't really matter. We just want a good tempo. We want to make sure we're keeping that knee back behind the toes. Don't want it driving over the big toe. Last 10 seconds. We're nearly there. 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Good. 1 more to go, and then we're moving on to our next exercise in this round, which will be push-ups. 3, 2, 1. Last round for lunges. Let's go. Stepping in, pushing back through that heel, keeping those feet hip width apart, making sure we're not stepping out one foot in front of the other. You will not be able to balance if you're doing this, so do take care. Nearly there. Last 10 seconds. Good. Keep those coming. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Good. So grab your exercise mat, roll it out now. And we're going to be going off in 5 seconds. We've got push-ups coming up next. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So if you're doing these on the knees, drop down onto the thighs as you come down. Nice deep stretch. Hands want to be shoulder width apart. Taking those elbows out to the side, being careful, keeping those elbows tucked into the side, making sure they're not flaring out. 10 seconds left. Good. Keep those coming. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. 10 seconds rest. Shake it all off. 1 down. Good. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go. So round number 2. Got 20 seconds on the clock. Pushing through. Now this is a tough workout today, but we're going to push through. We're going to make it count. Last 10 seconds. If you're starting to fatigue, it's okay. We're nearly there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Excellent. 2 down, 2 to go. So push-ups again next. You can do these in a box position if you're starting to fatigue. So keep those knees directly underneath the hips. Bring the head down in front of the hands. We're into our round number 3 now. Again, if you're doing these in the full position, you can drop down onto the knees as shown in the video here. Good. Keep those coming nicely now. We've got 10 seconds left. You're going to get 1 more round after this. Then we've got some rest. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Relax. Number 4 of 4 or 8 of 8. This is our last one. 3, 2, 1. Dig in. I know everything is tired now. That's what we want. We're going to make it to the end of this, and then you've got a minute's rest before we move on to Tabata number 2. Keep those coming. Keep that range of move coming. Keep dropping in. Last 10 seconds. I know your chest is tired. I know your arms are tired. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Good. Tabata number 1 is done. Grab yourselves a drink. So well done, everybody. We're going well. We've got our next Tabata coming up very soon, we're going to be kicking off with squat, jab, cross. Now, if you would rather do this as a sit to stand jab cross, then just make sure you've got your chair ready. Make sure it's supported by a wall or a table or somewhere where it can't fall over. Okay, so we're nearly there now. Coming to the end of our rest period. We've got 10 seconds left on the clock. We've got squat, jab, cross for our first 4 and crunches for our second 4. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So squat down, jab, cross. 1, 2. So we're on a good tempo, working the lower body, working the shoulders, working the arms. And we're going to keep that going for the full 20 seconds. Nice and quick. Heart rate should be nice and high by the end of this one. Good full body workout. Good full body exercise. Keep those coming. Nearly there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Rest it there. Well done. First round done. Number 2 coming up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. So squat down, jab, cross. Good. Keep those coming. Heart rate should be coming back up. Beauty of these Tabata sets is your recovery is so short. Heart rate doesn't recover very much, but it is just enough to be able to dig in and work hard for the next 20 seconds. This is all cardio. We are burning some serious calories in this workout today. We're nearly there. 2 and 1. Relax. Good. 2 down. 2 to go. Everybody catch your breath. Deep breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. And we're into round number 3. Squat, jab, cross. Straight back into it. Holding that focus. Turn the tunes up. Get the music pumping. That's it. Keep those coming. Drop right down. Use that chair for support if you need to. You can do this as a sit to stand jab cross if you have to. That's not a problem. Use that chair for light touch squat if you need a bit more support. We're nearly there. 1 more. Drop and finish. Good. Relax. 3 down. 1 to go. So last of our squat jab cross coming up in 2, 1. Let's go. And we're off. So last round for this one. And then we're halfway through to Tabata number 2. So we're going to be going over the hump. So push through. Got a bit of a rest coming up with the next exercise in terms of cardiovascular. We're going to be working the core next for crunches. Certainly a challenge for sure, but certainly a few different muscle groups we've worked in this first exercise. And relax there. So grab your exercise mat now, roll it out, get yourself ready, lying down, hands on the thighs, sliding up. 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. So heart rate obviously still going to be quite high, but that's fine. That will settle as we go through these next 4 exercises. So we're sliding those hands up, reaching up and forward, lifting the shoulders and torso off the floor, but we're not hinging forward and bending excessively at the midsection for this exercise. 2 and 1. Good. 1 down. 3 to go. We're nearly there. 5 seconds. Hands on the thighs. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. So as we slide those hands up, we're trying to reach those fingers just past the knees if you can. Reaching up as far as you're able to, but we don't want to come all the way up. We don't need to work the abdominals well in this exercise, but do keep your eye line diagonally up and forward. So we don't want to be squashing that chin onto the chest. Last 3 seconds for me now, so we can squeeze in a couple more reps and relax. Good. 2 down, 2 to go. Nearly there, people. Nearly there. We're off in 3, 2, 1, go. So round number 3, and we're sliding up. Yes, heart rate's probably settled a little, but the abdominals are kicking back now. They're starting to feel that burn, but that's okay. That's what we want. Last 10 seconds, we're working these muscle groups back to back to back to back because we're trying to squeeze everything out of them. This is a relatively short main set, and relax. 1 more to go. It's a relatively short main set, but we are making every single minute of this workout count. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Let's go. Let's make this last round count. 4 of 4. 8 of 8. Tabata number 2 of 4. So we're starting to break this workout down as we finish this particular exercise out. You've got 10 seconds left. Give me as many reps as you can to finish this out before we go into our next 60 seconds rest. Nearly there. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. You've got a minute's rest. Make sure you have a drink towel down if you need to. Jumping jacks will be our next exercise, and dead bugs. So we're going to need that exercise mat once more. Now, this is going to be our third round, 3 of 4. Now, obviously, 4 would be a full set, but this is a tough round. So you may find at the end of round number 3, that's where you decide to call it a day for this particular workout. You can obviously do that, or you can come back and do the 4th round. I will be here for all 4 for everyone that's pushing on. We're going to be off shortly. Got jumping jacks coming up first. You can do these as jumping jacks, full jumping jacks, or modified jumping jacks where we step the arms up to the side and we step the foot out to one side. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round number 1. Let's go. Jumping jacks. Nice big swing of the arms. Nice big rhythmic action. Perfect. Good. So we're going to start to bring that heart rate up. First round, probably not too bad, but by round 4, as I'm sure you're aware by now, heart rate is going to be high, which is exactly what we want. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Relax. Good. Nicely done. 1 down. 1 down. Number 2 coming up. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Jumping jacks. We're off again. Number 2. So working cardiovascular system. We're working a lot of stability through the ankles with this particular exercise. Cardiovascular, core, shoulders, everything's working hard. And the heart and lungs are at the center of it all, pumping that blood around the body, getting that heart rate nice and high, but making sure you've got the energy where you need it to perform this exercise to the highest intensity possible. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. 2 down, 2 to go. 10 seconds rest. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Number 3. So keep those coming. Everything's going to be starting to get a little tired now, but that's okay. That's what we want. And if not, let's up that intensity and push harder for these last 2 on the jumping jacks. 10 seconds left. Want to hear a nice slap of the hands on the thighs as you come down. Nice rhythmic action. Keep it coming and relax. 3 down, 1 to go. 3, 2, 1, go. So last round for our jumping jacks, 4 of 4, 20 seconds on the clock. We got dead bugs next. So again, heart rate's going to get an opportunity to recover a little bit in the next few rounds, and we're going back to working the abdominals and working the lower back on the next exercise. We're nearly there. Push all the way to the end. Don't cheat yourself out this last round. All the way to the bell. 2 and 1. Relax. Good. Grab your exercise mat. Unroll it. Lie yourself down. And then we're going to be taking those arms up and those knees off the floor. Alternating arms and legs. Now, many of these exercises we're trying to go to the highest intensity we can manage for 20 seconds. Dead bugs is not the case. This is an exercise that benefits from slowing down. We want to reach those arms over the head, reach the feet down. We don't want to touch the hand or the foot onto the floor, but we want to reach as far as we can and relax. Good. 1 down, 3 to go. 5 seconds. Get yourself ready. 2, 1. Let's go. Round number 2. So again, don't go too fast on this one. The slower you go on this, the harder it will be. So of course you can speed this movement up to make it a little easier, or you can reduce the range of movement that you take the arm over the head or how far you take that foot forward. We also want to make sure we're controlling the hips and there's not an excessive curvature at the lower back. And relax. Good. 2 down, 2 to go. We are nearly there for Tabata number 3. And we're off in 2, 1, let's go. So alternating arms and legs. Good. So I'm going to be drawing that navel in, holding good core contraction as we do this exercise. Good. Last 10 seconds. Nearly there now. Breathing through. Try not to hold your breath for this exercise. 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Well done, everybody. 10 seconds rest. 4 of 4 coming up. 8 of 8. Nearly there. 3, 2, 1, and go. So, round number 4 of 4 for dead bugs. 8 of 8 for Tabata. Number 3 of 4. We are digging in. I know those abdominals are tired, but we're going to push all the way to the end for this one. Quite hard on the thighs as well, this particular exercise, and hip flexors as we stretch out. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, everybody. Brilliant. Grab yourselves a drink. Now, if you're feeling that that's enough for you today, now's the time to call it a day and to move on to your cool down video and have a stretch off. Those that are staying for the 4th round, the final Tabata, you've got 60 seconds rest. Make sure you have a drink now. We've got goblet squats and side plank coming up. Now, for side plank, you will want a Pilates foam block if you have one, or you can just grab yourself a couple of books or something to give yourself a little bit of support as we do this. That is an optional extra. So do make sure you have a drink now if you haven't already, because we're kicking off very soon. So goblet squats and side plank. Last 8 rounds coming up. 3, 2, 1. Goblet squats. Now this is the one we want to do. We can do this as body weight. We can do this as a sit to stand with a chair as an alternative to the goblet squat. We can do this as a light touch squat where we use the chair to squat down, lightly touch to get our range of movement, but to give us the confidence that we have that support there should we need it. Keep those coming. 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. 1 down and rest there. 10 seconds rest. We're off in 5 and 2, 1. Let's go. Good. The goblet squat, a brilliant version of the bodyweight squat. You can also do this with a kettlebell, which we can hold onto the handles at the side, keep it at the top of the chest, or a dumbbell, which we can hold at the top of the chest, adding in a little bit more resistance if you want to make this more challenging. 10 seconds left. But working the lower body, working the quadriceps, the front of the upper thigh, working the glutes, the muscles of the bum, and rest there. Good. 2 down, 2 to go. We're off in 5, 2, 1. Good. Number 3. And the big benefit of the goblet squat with those wider stance and the toes turned out opens up the hips, helps us squat down more safely, sink to a deeper range of movement, and importantly, the big benefit of this exercise, it gets those toes back behind, it gets the knees back behind the toes. We don't want to be driving those knees over the top of the toes at any point, and rest there. Good. 4 of 4 coming up. We are nearly halfway through our final Tabata. Okay, catch your breath, and we're off. Last round for this one. Good. So sinking in, dropping that bum down nice and low, drive through those heels, extend those hips at the top, use those hands to counterbalance you if you need to, or keep that weight at the top of the chest. You've got 10 seconds left, then we're moving on to our final exercise, side plank. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. 10 seconds rest. Roll that exercise mat out, grab that Pilates block if you're using it. We're going to be starting with side plank, elbow directly underneath the shoulder and lifting up through the hips. Good. So just lifting up and hold. Now this doesn't need to be a big movement up through the hips for this to be effective. You can of course come up onto the toes and do this as a full straight line up through the ankle, hip and shoulder. Keep holding there. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, 10 seconds rest. Do not change sides. Do not change sides. We're going twice on the same side and then the final 2 rounds on the other side. Okay, lift and hold. And you can use that Pilates block if you want to for a little bit of support at the top. No problem at all with that. Helps to stop you leaning in excessively at the shoulder. Good. Halfway through. And you can also take a slight bend at the bottom of the knee if you need a little bit more support. That's not a problem either. As long as that hip is off the floor, you're going to feel this. And relax. Good. Quick change over. Other side. We're going to work the other side. We're off in 3, 2, 1. Lift and hold. Lift and hold. Good. So for this one, we're looking for a straight line through the hip, through to the shoulder, no dropping down at the hip. Actually, as you can see in this video, it's quite hard to see. My hip is not that far off the floor, and it does not need to be effective. Yes, you can come up onto the toes and be the nice straight line. That is a much harder variation, but you don't need to be that high to feel this exercise. Relax there. We have got one more round to go. One more exercise left. Side plank on the same side, and we're off. Last round, last 20 seconds on the clock. This is 4 of 4. It is 8 of 8, and it is Tabata number 4 of 4. You have got 12 seconds left on the clock. No dropping now. Breathing through. Keep holding. You're nearly there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, everybody. That is a tough workout. Now, if you're a glutton for punishment, you can of course go back and repeat one of these rounds, but to be perfectly honest, this works really well as a set of 4 if your intensity has been high enough. If you struggle to work to the higher tempo and you're feeling like you've got a little bit more left in the tank, please feel free to go and repeat one of these rounds. Pick your favourite, find the point in the video and repeat that set of 8 rounds of 20 seconds. If you're able to work to a slightly higher intensity or a higher intensity for the rounds, then you should be feeling pretty good and pretty cooked about now. So I'm going to leave you there to cool down. Please enjoy the cool down video, stretch it off, and then I will look forward to seeing you in another video, in another workout very soon.